come season some ribs with me. We're gonna start off by putting a little bit of mustard on there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of my Tony's. And these are beef ribs that we're seasoning up to cook. Y'all know me, I don't like any pork besties. Add a little bit more Tony's on there because I don't know, for some reason every time I use Tony's just make me sneeze. Oh, and I feel it coming on now. Y'all know I'm gonna add me some parsley because I'm fancy. But oh, just feel like I got that Tony's got me feeling like I gotta sneeze. Go ahead and get our paprika. Oh, I'm on live. I'm on YouTube. Paprika. Then we gotta have an all-purpose seasoning, which is gonna be my Pretty Girls No Flavor all-purpose seasoning right here. This is the jar that it comes in. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And then you're also gonna get your spoon. So we're gonna go ahead and add some of that on there. And I feel like when you're cooking beef, you need to season beef generously. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of that because you wanna make sure that you got flavor, especially if you don't have time to marinate your beef. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this nice. And we're gonna add in some sofrito. Now this is some sofrito that my coworker made me, and she gave me a really big jar. So we're gonna be generous with that. And that's gonna be my onions, my peppers, my garlic, and I'm gonna add more garlic because y'all know I love garlic. So I'm going to add more garlic to that. But I'm gonna add some of that sofrito in there as well. And then I also have some steak seasoning, which I'm just gonna pour a little bit on top. And just not too much because I feel like this stuff is just a little spicy. So we're gonna add a little bit of that. And now here's the really, really, really fun part. We're gonna go ahead and mix everything up. Make sure that we're getting everything evenly coated before we start adding in our fresh ingredients. Evaluate, see if we need to add more seasoning, see if it's seasoned to our liking. There goes my daughter in the background. And I always like to do it like this because I feel like you could always add more, but you cannot take away. So we're just gonna rub this down. And I feel like I'm gonna need a little bit more seasoning. Just by looking at it, I can tell that it does not look seasoned to my liking. So we're gonna go ahead and add more. There go my baby. And I just have to walk away and change my gloves. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm cooking, I'm constantly changing my gloves. Constantly.
Mommy!
Yes, my sweet baby.
Yeah,
I see, it's so pretty.
yeah, but to me!
I know, but can you go sit with daddy?
Yeah, but to me!
Okay, but can you go sit with daddy, my baby? Mommy's seasoning up the food. Can you go sit with daddy for a little bit?
Yeah, but you make pizza?
Yes, I'm gonna make you pizza. So can you go sit with daddy?
What are you doing? That's pure.
I'm listening to it, baby.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. going to add just a little bit more seasoning because I feel like it needs a little bit more just for my particular liking. I'm going to add in just a little bit more all-purpose seasoning. Just a little bit. And this seasoning, it does not have a lot of salt. I know people be like, oh, you're adding so much seasoning, it's gonna be salty, it's gonna be salty. My seasoning does not contain a lot of salt. As you can see, out of this whole entire jar, only 4, I don't know if you guys can see it really good, but only 4% of this is salt. So you don't have to worry about me adding a lot of salt to my food. I don't add a lot of salt. A lot of seasonings that I use does not have a lot of salt in it, but it just looks like a lot because I like to make sure things are seasoned, but it's definitely not a lot. I'm just gonna add a little bit more paprika to these ribs and just a little bit more Tony's, just because I feel like it needs it, and I feel like beef just needs to be seasoned aggressively, especially when you don't have time to marinate. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Then we're gonna mix it up again. Every time I use Tony's, that makes me want to sneeze. Go ahead, mix it, make sure everything is evenly coated. And now it is completely seasoned to my liking. I can smell it seasoned. Everything is covered, seasoned. Looks really good. So what I'm just gonna do is just set this here. And I'm just gonna let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours. Let it marinate, let it soak up some of these flavors that we put in there. So when it's time to cook it, everything is nice and seasoned. Look at that. We are good to go, guys. Now, when it's time to cook it, that's when I'm gonna go ahead and add in my peppers. I'm gonna add in my onions. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my garlic. I'm gonna add in my fresh herbs as well, so that all those flavors could come in and marry with everything. But we're gonna go ahead, put this in the fridge. These are our ribs, they're seasoned. Let this marinate. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna cook it together. All right, bye besties.